What's your name?
Priya.
Priya, nice to meet you. My name's Kai.
Hi.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, man. Sorry.
Here we go. We'll do that. Are you enjoying your day?
Yeah, no, I've been enjoying my day, yes.
Yeah?
Going
Nice,
well.
What's your name?
Joseph.
Joseph.
I'm Tom.
Tom.
Yeah.
Kai, nice to meet you, bro.
Good to meet you.
So obviously I've got a couple of questions. I'm going to dive in with the deepest one. Have you ever experienced racism personally?
Personally, like, I've been pulled over by police myself. Like, they say, like, oh, they're checking insurance and stuff, but sometimes it feels like they are. I wouldn't say I outrightly experienced it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's part of the black experience growing up in Britain to experience racism, whether it be covert or like in your face.
Yeah.
From like very young age. But yeah, I've definitely experienced racism.
Yeah, many times.
Do you mind explaining just a couple of situations?
Well, I live in Birmingham, which is like a huge brown population, but it's something I experienced a lot growing up around a lot of white people I went to school with.
Not point and blank.
Yeah, maybe mildly that way I can try and infer it, but I wouldn't say like outrightly. Yeah.
How did that make you feel, like when it did happen?
I'd say honestly the first few times, because like, so obviously I'm mixed race, my mum's white, so obviously very supportive. Like, so when I was growing up, you're sort of taught that racism's a thing of the past. At school, like, you get taught about the Civil Rights Act. Oh, that was in the 60s. And then after like the first couple times, that's when I properly realised an everyday thing. Yeah.
But I mean, like, even as close as like this January, I was at like a New Year's Eve party. When someone found out it's from Birmingham, this white guy said, "Oh, loads of Pakis there, aren't there?"
How do you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement?
I feel like it's really needed. As black people, we need to step into places of power, be heard. I love the fact that this movement is like engaging everybody. So it's not just like black people that are out, it's like everybody understanding it's like humanity.
And did that affect you in how you treated people or how you spoke to certain types of people, or was it something that you just kind of put up and shut up sort of thing? Or
Yeah, honestly I would say it was more like an acceptance, and it shouldn't have been really, but yeah, it was more like fact of life.
How did that make you feel, and like how did you react in that situation?
Well, I was pretty fuming, but I had a few drinks. But I mean, especially because a lot of my friends are white and I went to art school, loads of white people. It makes you feel well shit because you're like the only brown person at these parties, and they never get kicked out. No one ever gets told properly, and there's no one ever there to have my back either, which sucks.
It must be difficult.
Only when Black Lives Matters, every life matters kind of thing. So it's like,
Like I said to someone over there, I said, like, after this and the revolution that this is going to cause, everyone's turn is next. Do you know what I mean? As soon as this is ended, everyone's will end. You can't just like have one race be, smoothed over and make things right and then it not happen for others. Do you know what I mean? It will just naturally follow. How do you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement?
I think it's great, honestly. It's fantastic, especially in America. What's going on there, I'm so happy when every time I like log on to socials and I see what's going on. I've got a few friends in America that are telling me about it as well. Great, a great opportunity for change.
Definitely, 100%. I think our time is now, and this is the revolution that needs to happen. And I think for all the other races, I think their time comes straight after.
100%.
Because once you fix this, you fix everything. Do you know what I mean? Because once you end racism here, you end racism everywhere. That's just my personal belief, and I think that's what will happen. Do you know what I mean? Do you have a message to anybody that's racist?
I have one message. There's a message I go by, and it's that I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, and I believe in Jesus, that everybody matters and there's equality in Jesus.
Everyone.
And that if you're racist, then you're kind of like, as in denying that you're creation, because we're all one. Like, as in when I look at people through the lens of Christ, I don't see color. When we're gonna go to heaven, it's just all gonna
everyone
be
is the same.
humanity.
Everyone.
So, Jesus loves you. You're racist, but Jesus loves you. I don't see the racism at you as a person. I think the racism is a thing that maybe you're going through in this moment, but I just pray that you come to the sense of that, see bright
better
future.
Learn, educate. Do you have a message for racist people? Don't hold back if you don't want to.
I mean, honestly, my personal opinion with racism is that we've tried talking to racist people since before the 60s, man. Like for 400 years trying to talk, and they don't listen. And honestly, it's pretty an unpopular opinion.
The talking's done now. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Time for action. Respect, man. Thank you. Thank you for your time, bro. Love, man. What's your name?
I'm Alex.
Nice to meet you, Alex. My name's Kai. Is this your first time at one of these marches?
Yeah.
Nice. I came yesterday. George Floyd! Very busy, but I'd have to say today is far busier.
The energy is incredible.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Have you ever been racially abused before?
No.
Never. Experienced any kind of like someone say mean things to you before?
Someone called me white trash once, but that was it. But not really.
Did that sit with you for a while? Did it affect you a lot?
I wouldn't say particularly because Obviously, I don't think people being racist to white people is really a massive thing, to be honest, but it's more if it was for somebody else and I was there at the time, I would not be okay with that and I would speak up about that. Especially, I've had to tackle issues within my own family about saying racist things and having to...
My friends have had to do that as well.
And say, you can't say that, that's not okay. You know, try and educate them on why it's not okay.
That's the best, because sometimes it is a thing of just being naive and people just have to be educated and shown the opposite feelings, do you know what I mean? Because I feel a lot of people can't relate on the feeling side of things, do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Until you've actually experienced it yourself, you can't really understand.
It's like trying to imagine what the pain of a car crash would feel like.
Without
You've never experienced.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement?
I think it's amazing and it's been a long time coming, to be honest. As the same thing, you haven't been in a car crash, but seeing all this videos, propaganda, what's happening in America is just so rage instilling, upsetting. I can't relate to why people would treat people like that just because of their skin colour. It's beyond ridiculous.
How do you feel about the people comparing Black Lives Matter movement to the Rigby incident with the terrorists? Oh, are you okay?
I think his family have said that they completely are not okay with people using his image to do that because he didn't feel like that. And terrorist attacks are horrible, but it's not the same as being killed by the people who are supposed to protect your life. The police will have arrested the people and sorted it out, but who arrests the police, you know?
No, exactly. Who's to tell them off? And that's this big problem, and it's so corrupt, you know? Thank you so much for giving me your time. Thank you.
You killed him and he's in handcuffs, yeah? Everyone's mad, are you fucking dumb?
And then we went to her friend's house and none of them would shake my hand.
People are coming together and standing against corruption. We're all here together, it's beautiful that we're all here.